One of Europe's problems is that it's simply too big. People find it hard to identify with huge multinational institutions. And in some of the more federally minded countries, there's not even a very strong sense of national identity either. Perhaps this is why more and more people are turning to their regions. Is smaller sometimes better? It's time for your questions to Danuta Hübner, chairwoman of the Committee on Regional Development here in the European Parliament. Mrs. Hübner, hello, welcome.
Hello.
You're from Nisko. Which region is that in Poland?
It's southeast of Poland, yeah.
Right.
It's, today it's Podkarpacie, but when I was born, which was long ago, it had a different name.
OK, right. First question here on iTalk.
Bonjour, c'est Ajar de Bruxelles.
Hello, I'm Ajar from Brussels. We've just seen the end of Poland's presidency of the European Union. I'd like to ask what Poland was able to do to help Europe out of the financial crisis.
Pour aider l'Europe à sortir de la crise financière.
Just in 2-3 sentences, what has Poland done?
Poland kept Europe together. Poland allowed us to avoid the division in double-speed Europe, and this is, I think, the most important thing that we got from Poland.
In what way exactly?
We managed to,
what policy?
exactly. Poland was always against this idea of having Eurozone, talking separately, deciding separately. Now we will have the discussion on the future together between the 27, with the 17 voting on what concerns them, but we will be together.
Are many Polish people favourable to join the euro or not?
Majority used to be in favour. Now I think they are more reluctant, but more than 80% are happy with being in the European Union.
OK, let's have another question about Europe. Second question here on iTalk.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Claudia.
Hello, I'm Claudia, originally from Poland. I live in Brussels, the European capital, and I wonder why many Poles are Eurosceptics.
The same theme.
I don't agree with my young compatriot. I believe that all the public opinion polls show clearly it's huge support, strong support.
There's disappointment, though, since Poland joined. When it joined, it was vastly enthusiastic. There's been some disappointment, obviously.
Well, you know, the support, the last public opinion poll shows higher support than it was in 2004. So I really believe that we are very much in favour and really happy with what we get from the European Union. Where we are probably more sceptic now is exactly what we discussed, which is Euro accession to the Eurozone.
OK, let's have another question outside Poland now.
My name is Silvio Ivicic. I'm a Croat living in Belgium, but I have a question regarding my homeland, Croatia, since the Croatia is now approaching the EU. And what is the plan or the policy for the regional development of the southeastern Europe through Croatia? Are there some concrete plans and some funds to help raise the whole standard of the whole region? And are there some concrete funds for the other countries who will try to approach the EU in the forthcoming years?
You're going to open your pockets wide.
Questions, yeah. But I want to say that I'm very happy that Croatia is basically in. We have signed the treaty, so it's just the ratification. And in 2013, Croatia will be 28th European Union member states. And already in the pre-accession phase, Croatia was benefiting largely from what we call pre-accession instrument, which is simply support, which means that Croatia was getting money also for the regional policy to prepare also for the better absorption of the funds.
But in times of crisis, do we have money to give to these new countries? We can't even give money to our own regions.
No, it's not true, because we have the budget now, which has been decided years ago. We are now negotiating the new budget, and of course it is difficult. There are member states who want to cut it. There are member states who say we consolidate, which means cut national budgets. We should also cut European budget. But we should remember that Europe needs growth, and European budget is purely investment budget. So we need the funding. And then if Croatia finally joins in 2 years, less than 2 years from now, it will be part of European policies that are benefiting all citizens of European Union.
OK, let's have another question for Danuta Hübner.
Hello, Mrs. Hübner. Jean-François here. I'm Belgian. Are workers from the East, particularly Polish plumbers, who are so often talked about, cheaper than Western workers from France or Belgium? I'd like to hear your opinion on that. Thank you very much.
Very big theme in the past, the Polish plumber. What about differences in wages now?
But, you know, first of all, let me say that now we have total free movement. So Poles can work wherever they can find a job and wherever they want to have a Pole employed. So that's one thing. Of course, our salaries at home are much lower than in many other member states. That comes with the level of development. And Polish GDP per capita, which is measuring the development level, is around 55% of European average.
What can you do on a regional level to change the discrepancies, to make the situation more even playing?
There is no other way but just to grow and to be more developed, and with this also the level of salaries goes up. As long as we are really less developed, which means that our productivity is lower, that we produce less per person annually, for example, also our salaries are lower. But let's hope that with years passing, also Poland will be more developed and our national salaries will be higher.
OK, another question now on iTalk here on Euronews.
Hallo, ik ben Miriam. Ik ben van oorsprong.
Hello, I'm Miriam, originally from Latvia, born in Bruges and raised in an international environment. When are we finally going to advance European unification on the social level? I'm talking about social protection, salaries, etc. It would avoid a lot of disloyal competition between the different member states.
Dat zou ook heel veel deloyale concurrentie vermijden tussen de verschillende landen in Europa. Dank u wel.
It's a general question, but how can regional policy make things more fair and equal and help in social questions?
You know, we have to remember that social policies are still largely national competences. So Europe as such is not having really much to say or much to do. But we are moving on this, and there is more and more in European competences also on this. But everything, I think, starts with level of development and regional policy, which is an investment policy, accelerating growth, mobilizing the local growth potential, is generating the conditions for to reduce the disparities also in social benefits. But to a large extent, it's still in the hands of the national governments, and Europe is helping to move further on growth and development. And also Europe is providing a level playing field for the rights, for the social rights, and this is something which I think is very important for us.
OK, let's have a final question on today's iTalk.
Bonjour, je suis Constantin, je viens de Roumanie.
Hello, I'm Constantin and I come from Romania.
Comment vous envisagez de relier les politiques?
How do you envisage linking regional development policy with sustainable development policy, which is a main pillar of the new common agricultural policy?
La nouvelle politique agricole commune. Je vous remercie.
Green issues? Regions?
A lot of things, and of course regions. I think through the regional policy we have very clear roles that we have to invest in an environmentally friendly way, and we have to invest more than now in energy efficiency, in making also the use of all natural resources more efficient, in respecting all the environmental rules and directives that the Union has, a lot of them. And now we are also investing in everything that's related to climate change, and this is for all the regions across Europe.
Just one final question. When the world is becoming more and more concentrated on blocks, we have China, we have America, we have Europe, should we really be concentrating on the different regions and perhaps exacerbating the difference between our small regions? Is that what we really need to be doing?
I think if you think in terms of global challenges that we all live with, when you look for the responses to global challenges, you will find them locally, because on anything, on energy efficiency, you have to act locally to make decisions on how you cope with the transport at city level. So most of the responses to big global challenges are at the local level. That's why we have to be down there on the ground.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for your questions to Danuta Hübner. Let's see you again next time here from the European Parliament in Brussels for another iTalk.